Hello, my loves. This is Malayla with Love and Light Starseed Tarot. Welcome. This reading is going to be for Leo and their person. I hope everyone's doing well. These are timeless messages, so whenever you click on the reading, it's meant for you. And this is for Sun, Moon, or Rising in Leo. Angels, spirit guides, please show us. What is the overall energy between these two? Page of Swords in reverse. 10 of Wands. The 7 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. Yeah, I'm getting that you want to put down a heavy burden. You have been carrying all the things. You've been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders because of lies, deceit, trickery. You know, you're not wanting to put any more time and effort into this situation. You're not wanting to learn anything new as far as this person or this situation you're in. You're completely done with it. You want to put it down. You want to put it to rest. You know, you might be needing to rest and meditate and go within so that way you can listen to your soul speaking to you. So you can listen to your inner guidance. What is your energy at this time? 3 of Cups. 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, so you want to celebrate your wins, your successes. You want to be able to be free and go out with your friends and celebrate. You know, you could be possibly, starting something new at work or just wanting to invest more into yourself and your happiness. What is their energy, please? 5 of Cups. And the King of Cups. Yeah, this person could be very emotional at this time. You know, they could be depressed, sad, emotionally unstable, or emotionally unavailable. How do you see them? 2 of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords. Yeah, they juggled you for way too long. This person tried to keep you stuck, mental imprisonment, while juggling options. You are not an option to be juggled. You are not one that's going to sit back and just stay stuck because someone puts you there. Right? You're not going to put baby in a corner. How do they view you? How do they see you? 7 of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. Yeah, this person sees you as getting your life in order, getting your ducks in a row. I'm getting that you could be having more faith and trust in the universe and trusting in yourself. You're surrendering and releasing control around the outcome. You could be being more logical and, cold and detached at this time. You want to embrace and honor your gifts and abilities. How do you feel about them? How do you feel about them? Death, Scorpio energy, Temperance, and the Hanged Man. Yeah, this person tries to keep you stuck because this person doesn't know how to move ahead and grow in their life. They've been trying to keep you stuck with them. You feel that this person needs to transform their life, transform their health, and look at things in a different perspective because it's been a very long time. You've had a lot of patience with this person. You cannot continue to stay stuck with them. You're wanting transformation. You're wanting forward movement already. How do they feel about you? Four of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. Yeah, you're holding out for a soulmate connection. You're holding back. You only want a deep soul love. You know, you could be holding back your energy. You could be detached, but you're holding out for a special kind of love. Something that's on a soul connection, soul level. What are your actions? What are you doing in the 3-day? Five of Swords. Three of Wands. Yeah, you're moving forward and you're leaving any mind games and manipulation behind. You're just waiting for your ships to come in. You know, this person could think that they're manipulating you, but they have another thing coming. 555 on the timer. You're just waiting for your ships to come in. This person is not going to see this coming. This person doesn't see this coming. They think they have you stuck in your mind. They think they have you stuck in manipulation and games. What are their actions in the 3-day? 8 of Wands and the Chariot. Yeah, they're trying to come in with some fast communication, some fast action with you. But I'm just getting, you're just biding your time. You know, this person wants to act like they have decisive actions or decisive choices at this time, or, you know, or they made a choice to move forward. You know, they could have communicated this with you recently, but I'm just getting, you're just biding your time. You're letting it go in one ear and out the other because you've heard it for so long. You've heard the same thing over and over. You know, you want to live in flow. You want to be more present in your current moment, in your current life, in your current situation. You're releasing any fear or burden, any mind games, manipulation. You know, you could be seeing signs and synchronicities as well. You know, you want to embrace life. What are your messages towards them? 10 of Cups and the 7 of Wands. Yeah, they have completely blocked this 10 of Cups feeling for you. They have completely put up, you know, walls, or, you know, they were so stubborn when it came to this 10 of Cups, you know, happily ever after. You know, so you're looking at things differently. You know, it could have just like put a big damper on your future plans with this person, you know, their actions. What are their messages towards you? 6 of Pentacles. 5 of Wands. Yeah. You know, they're seeing that, you know, there's a lot of combativeness. There's a lot of competition here. There's been, you know, conflict. And this could be around money. You know, this could have been around equal give and take, or, you know, just chores in general, or, you know, what you do versus what they do. There's a lot of conflict. You know, I'm just getting that you're now understanding that you can't take it with you when you go. You know, so you're not focusing on the material as much as in the past. You know, you don't want to be just making money and buying things, you know, or just making money to survive. You know, you actually want to live your life. You're seeing that there's way more to life than just money and materialism. You're letting go of the plan. You know, you might want to create a new plan. You might want to be collaborating with new people at this point. You want to vibrate on a conscious level. You want to vibrate at a high frequency. And you're realizing that control and power and money and lust and things like that are a low vibe, right? They're on a low frequency. They keep people down. They keep people stuck. You know, when you're using your intuition and when you're using your wisdom and expressing your way in a healthy manner, that helps you vibrate higher. It helps you tap into your spiritual gifts. What is the outcome, please? The King of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm getting. You want to communicate in a healthy, loving, kind manner. So that way, you know, you get your dharma. So the Wheel of Fortune turns in your favor. Right? So then you can vibrate at a higher conscious level. What is the advice, please? The King of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Yes. I love this. Yes. So we have Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and we have Aries, Leo, Sag. But yeah, the advice is speak your truth. Speak your truth. You know, be honest with yourself first and foremost. Right? I'm also getting that time management is huge right now. You know, you could be wanting to plan out your days so that way, you know, or make a schedule so that way you can fit in everything that you want to do. You have a lot of ideas and a lot of creativity. You want to put this into action, into motion. So you're going to plan out your day in a different way, in a different manner. So you can fit everything in. You know, you're seeing all of the distractions in your life are just time wasters. Realizing time is precious. You don't want any distractions at this time. You want to be more productive because it makes you feel better. You know, you feel so much better and more confident, and you have more energy when you put your focus to the positive side of life, to the positive aspects. When you're more productive, when you're doing the little things that add up, right? You're seeing the polarity between both. You know, when you're focused on the negative, that brings you down, that brings your frequency down. You know, it keeps you on a completely different level. You know, one way you're feeling up and one way you're feeling down. You know, you're trying not to take on too much, right? You're not listening to drama or chaos because that brings your frequency down, your energy levels down, right? You can be a good friend, you know that, but you don't have to be a doormat. You don't have to be a dumping ground for other people. You know, you can have strong boundaries and still be kind and loving and nice. You know, you can give out respect and get respect in return, right? You're not allowing negativity in your life any longer. You want to nip it in the bud right away. You know, even if you need to remove yourself from a situation, then you're doing that. You're doing whatever it takes to keep your vibration high, your frequency at a high level, because you're seeing so many positive results when you do this. Can I get a hidden truth oracle for this connection, please? My life is not as together as it seems. I hide who I really am from you, or I hid. I'm going to get a numerology card and advice for our amazing Leo. What does Leo need to know at this time? I'm seeing 444 on the timer. 1551. Hold your vision. Manifestation, abundance, money, dreams, vision, and prosperity. Focus on the good and maintain your concentration on the outcomes you desire. It's time to put your faith and time into your ideas and pursue your goals with all your might. You have such a beautiful, courageous, and brave spirit. Yes. Type 1551 if you agree with this message in the comments, please. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Thanks.